Hey there, welcome back to Hardy Brothers Outdoors. Josh Hardy here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you have been with us for some time, thank you so much for the continued support. As you know, we recently took delivery of the H24 from Solis, and we're really excited about it. I wanted to give some of my first impressions on it today, but there's a couple things we're going to do today. One, we're going to do some first impressions. I'll give you a couple of my first impressions. We've got some firewood to move that my wife has asked me to get over to the house so we can have some fires this weekend. The weather's been crazy. It was 70 degrees a couple days ago. It was snowing this morning, so just completely nuts. So we're going to get some firewood over, use the tractor and the bucket to do that, and probably come up with a few more things that I had thought about that were new and different to me on this tractor. And then I'm going to wrap it up over in the barndo. In my last video, I was doing some insulation. I was installing some insulation, and we've got a kind of a unique problem that's come from that I've not experienced before. So I want to share that with you and find out if you have any suggestions. I've got some ideas on how to address it, but not really sure. So we'll wrap up with that. And yeah, that's kind of what we got planned today. So I'm going to start out just as a little preface here that as we were pulling up, you could see the 2032R with the hood open, and you might have noticed another red tractor in the garage. That's a Massey Ferguson GC 2300 that I bought with the house here about 9 years ago, and it's a great mower. Doesn't have a loader but has PTO, and I've kept it around for mowing as a backup really to the John Deere. The Deere has the hood up, and I've got hydraulic fluid everywhere. My front right seals on the axle apparently blew. No idea how or why, but I've got hydraulic fluid everywhere. And trying to figure out what to do with that, whether I'm going to load it up and take it to Deere or not. Jason and I are looking at a new deck over trailer, so hopefully we'll be able to show that here in the future. That'll be a game changer for us if we can get that, because both of our trailers are too small for the 32 and the 52, and probably, you know, this would probably go on it fine, but you know, we're pushing it even with that single axle trailer. So anyway, so we've got experience with all these other tractors. This is the fourth one we have on the property right now, and we're going to put it through the paces and really, you know, dig in and see how it performs. It looks like a really heavy duty tractor. It's got it's one of the heaviest in its class, maybe the heaviest. It's got a real nice wide stature. Look how far these tires stick out the side. So from a stability perspective, you've got that weight and that width over the other 25 horsepower, 24 horsepower tractors. So pretty cool. I want to just talk through some basics. I'm going to give like maybe 5 right now. And I'm going to start with probably one of the most simplest and basic ones. You've probably, if you've seen my videos in the past, I've talked about the key saver, the little molded key saver that someone built to help avoid the breakage of keys on the 2032. And Solis comes standard with a hinged key. Basic concept, missed by one of the other big players. I'm excited to see that because I have a lot of bent keys. In fact, I've bought lots of extras, so I have them. So that's one thing that was just really basic and simple. This thing has grab rails from both sides, which is nice. There's a lot of space to get in and out of this tractor from both sides, which is, I think, really nice. Comes standard with the rubber mat, so less vibration on your legs while you're working. Comes standard with the visual indicator for the bucket, which is kind of nice. And there's a lot of standards on this thing that I'm not going to get them all. Like I said, I'm only going to do 5 things right now. I'll do some more later. It has standard remotes on the back. We'll likely put a hydraulic tilt on our top link. You can do tilt or top link. So you can't do both with the current setup here. And so that's, I think, 4. I wanted to talk about one other one that jumped out at me quite a bit. It was back here. I just passed it. It's the 7-pin trailer hookup. So that's something that we only have, I believe, on the 52 horsepower tractor. So that's pretty cool. There's some other things I want to talk about, but let's get some firewood moved. and so I don't get in trouble with the wife. And then we'll head over to the barndo after that, talk about our problem there. Stick around. Just some of that cherry that I just put up before. It feels good and dry. I mean, this will dry so fast. Love it. I don't know what that is, but it feels wet. Heavy. So I figured while I was doing this, I might just talk a little bit about what we've decided and what we've agreed to do with Solis. I think a lot of you that watch this channel also watch Outdoors with the Morgans. Mike Morgan, 3-4 years ago, I guess 3 years ago, was helping launch the RK tractor line. And basically we have a very similar deal as far as I know. I don't know what his deal was, but it is that we will use the tractors on the property and on the Habitat Oasis project around the house here, around Jason's place, and just kind of show you guys the tractors in use. And it's that simple. We don't get to keep the tractors. This is basically a free lease, if you will. And so right now we have about I think a 2-year agreement, and we're expecting to see other tractors show up. They've got an electric tractor they're working on. They've got a 35 horsepower tractor they're working on. They have a 75 horse, which will probably be the next one released, I believe. It's with the EPA to pass the requirements right now. It's got no DPF, and unlike the 24 that has the Mitsubishi, that one's actually manufactured in-house in their facility over in India. So pretty exciting. I mean, that's really what gets us excited, is just having the versatility of these other tractors. And like that 75 horse will allow us to do stuff on the conservation project back there, the Habitat Oasis project, that we can't do today. Pulling some big no-till drills, pulling some big plows, doing some stuff that we just can't, get done right now. And so that makes it a win-win for us and for Solis. And so we were honored to be chosen by them. So yeah, I mean, we're really appreciative of Solis, and I think it's going to be a good partnership for us. But if you've watched this at all, you know that we are just, good, down-home Ohio people. We're not looking to mislead, or we're not going to sugarcoat things. I was telling you some of the things that were different. I'm going to probably come up with a couple things that I don't like as much on this tractor. And we're going to share those too. And if we have problems, we're going to be honest about those as well. So rest assured, what you're seeing here is going to be our genuine use of the Solis equipment, and a straightforward kind of perspective on it. So so far what I've seen and what's the components that are in this thing, which we'll talk about in another video, I think we're going to have a great experience. So I'm excited. So let's get this wood and get this wood back over to the house and unload it. So one of the things we love down here at the cabin is being able to have fires. Back at the house in town, we have gas fireplaces, which brings up a sore point. Last week, Frontier Communications is putting new fiber in our neighborhood. And as they're boring through through our front yard, they couldn't find the gas line. So that had to be turned off on a Friday afternoon, on a holiday weekend, right before my wife was getting ready to head down here and I was already here. So needless to say, she didn't make it out that evening. Our gas was turned off. They claimed they found a leak when they tried to turn it back on. And it took us over a week while we had plumbers telling us there was no leak, the gas company telling us there was a leak, plumbers coming back and telling us there was no leak. We had no less than 12 people and 6 trips in and out of our house to be told finally that we needed to repair our furnace and hot water heater. Mind you, we never smelled gas in the house ever before. And I had a longtime friend who my wife didn't know to call as the initial plumber come in and look at the HVAC stuff. And he did all of his testings, and lo and behold, there were no leaks there either. So 7 days of no heat, running space heaters, just a real nightmare. So anyway, we really love the fact that we can burn fires down here and enjoy the ambiance, part of the being at the cabin experience. All right, let's get this thing over to the barndo, and let me tell you about what's going on over there since we put insulation in. Okay, back in the barndo. So if this were a 4D video, you all would be saying, where's the cat? Some of you probably already know where I'm headed with this. Since I put this insulation up, the barndo smells like cat piss. And I've done a lot of research, and it looks like that could be because we had some wet insulation. It could just be the insulation. From what I've seen, doesn't necessarily mean that the insulation was wet. That is not the only reason it happens. But it's bad. It is really bad. I've had this thing airing out all the last 3 days, and it's still, I mean, when the doors are open, it's not bad, but when it's closed up, it's bad. And at first I wondered, is it cat urine? The guy that I got this from, did he have a cat that was peeing on these bundles? It's possible, but I don't think so based on everything that I've seen online. Were there mice in them? Because I did have a mouse nest, and that stuff can be pretty stinky. But it's too much. So if you have any idea on how to attack that, leave a comment down below, please. We got to figure it out, or I got to take all this stuff out and start over. I don't want to do that. That's a pain in the butt. I'll tell you what my idea is. My idea is ozone. get an ozone generator, which I have a contact I'm trying to get one from, and run some ozone cycles in here and see if we can't change those molecules over to not smell. That's what I'm hoping to do. Anybody else who's got experience in this area, I'd love to hear your ideas. And yeah, that's what's going on in the barndo. Not cool, man. Not cool. I did promise to give you a few more things that I like so far about this tractor. So a few more things I like about this tractor in comparison to my others. There's a really simple knob here to pull to open the hood. I don't need a special tool to poke in the side, and it's a metal hood. That's pretty nice. The battery, a giant interstate battery right here in the front. This is like a car battery size battery. This is a Mitsubishi S3L2. That's why it's so quiet. I love it. That's pretty cool. That's just a few of the other things that I like. I mean, it's really easy to get that battery out. There's no lifting it in between the radiator and all that other mess. So I think maintenance on here is going to be super easy. On the back, it comes with a standard drawbar. So we'll be able to move some, put a hitch on there, move some stuff around. And then down here, you've got a tow bar that can be set up to allow it to sway and turn as well. So there's a lot of good stuff here. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of good lights, standard light here on the back, work light. Looks like you can turn that on and off by itself. Good looking tractor. Lots more content coming on the Solis tractors in the future. But thanks a lot for those of you who have managed to stick around. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do. We have so much more to come, and a very busy spring and summer ahead. So we really appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.